Hi everybody, it's Jules Chabot here, Celtic wildlife artist. I've added Celtic into my sort of little mini tagline, if you like, my description, because I realise that I talk a lot about Celtic wisdom here and across all of my communication, but for some reason I hadn't actually put that into my profile information. So feels good because back in June I went up to the Highlands of Scotland, where my grandparents and my mum are from, and where I've spent a lot of time, particularly in my childhood, and it really rekindled in me the importance of sharing this ancient wisdom, which is why I do my weekly wildlife wisdom. Good morning to everybody joining. Morning Susie, morning Jeddah Bear, lovely to have you here. Welcome. And yeah, so I'm feeling like my 2024 is going to be a new chapter, a new beginning for my art, where I really will be bringing that Celtic symbology and meaning in more and more visually into my art. I'm going to start a new series. I'm not sure what it's going to be called yet, but I'm going to take some time off in December and January to, thank you Susie, to go purely into studio mode and play and practice and bring all this beautiful symbology that I was blessed to see and to feel while I was up in the Highlands, and to just continue to let that come through. So the Celtic wisdom for me is, it overlays and interconnects with all Indigenous ancient wisdom. So although my background is Celtic, I've got a bit of Nordic as well in my DNA. A lot of this wisdom, as I've learned from years and years travelling, talking to people that are knowledgeable about Indigenous wisdom, there's so much interconnectedness. And of course it's because we are all interconnected, we are all one, and it's only us beautiful humans that have trouble remembering that, and that's part of my purpose, I think, to help just, you know, ignite that flame, that spark in your heart, or maybe give you the confidence and belief in yourself that it is truth and it is real, and to follow those beautiful subtle cues. So with that said, today is spider wisdom, and I called it wise web wisdom, which is a bit of a mouthful, so I'll probably only say that once. And it's all to do with these beautiful 8-legged ancient beings, and once again, so often misrepresented as being evil, bad, aggressive, violent, poisonous, nasty, all these horrible words. And as always, I just ask if you have any of those associations. There's so much fear associated with spiders through generations and generations of human folk who have misunderstood and engaged with spiders, and have perhaps received their poison, which can be very, very nasty. But again, this is about needing to reconnect from our hearts, from our souls, with all life, and really heal those misunderstandings and reconnect with who they are and who we are, and how we need to love and respect each other from different perspectives. So Spider Nation, their perspective of the world is so different from ours. Their ancestral lineage is a very special energy and wisdom that I'm going to share, and we can learn so much from them, as we can all species. So why spider? Well, last week, if you tuned in to my, I think it was wasp wisdom, was it wasp? No, it wasn't wasp wisdom last week, was it? Whoever it was, think it might have been fox, I can't remember. My age, my changing hormones means my memory's hilarious. Anyway, last week I mentioned that whilst I was doing the weekly wildlife wisdom, a beautiful little spider who I had seen a couple of days before was sitting on the bottom, the base of my phone stand where I have my phone sitting now. And she stayed for the whole wildlife wisdom, and she was right up front. She came and sat, and it was like she was, definitely participating and bringing her energy. So of course I knew that this week it needed to be spider wisdom. So isn't that amazing? I've not seen her since. I think she's crawled into, there's a teeny little hole in the case. She crawled into there. I saw one of her legs disappearing, but I'm sure she's probably come out of there by now. But yeah, what a lovely message. So I knew that spider wisdom was coming. I've got a message from them that's in my book, The Purpose of Species. I'm going to read that to you because it is very powerful. But again, spiders are very much traditionally connected with the celebration of Halloween, which of course back in Celtic tradition is known as Samhain, spelt Samhain, but pronounced Samhain. And this is celebrating the new year for Celtic tradition. And really it's about the dying of the old year and the beginnings of the new year. So going into that dark inner work of just becoming ready and willing to commence the birthing process, which really only just begins on the midwinter solstice, which in the northern hemisphere is the 22nd of December. So at this period of time, if we align with nature and her exquisite, powerful wisdom, we know that we need to go within, we need to spend quiet time, we need to sit comfortably and lovingly in the beautiful, dark, feminine energy. There's nothing sinister about it. This is where we've got lost on our path with all of the Halloween horror and terror, which I know can be fun, but I prefer to remember that it's really about honouring the dark as much as the light in cycles, life, death, birth, rebirth, and those beautiful cycles that always are continuing forward. So spider energy, spider known as grandmother, she's very much connected with this, and I think it's because of the beautiful creation which I'll come on to. So let's have a look at what her true wisdom is and what she can share with us if we're willing and devoted to hearing and learning from her from a place of love and respect. So spiders are our ancestors. Now, across most indigenous beliefs that I've discovered, there may be some that aren't, but the ones that I've discovered, they believe that animals, the trees, all of the land and nature are all our ancestors. So when we come into the physical realm, we adopt a physical body, and then at some point we pass over and we come out of our physical body. And it's that transformation that enables our physical energy, if you like, the energy of our soul coming out of our physical body to redisperse itself into the all, into the big ocean, rather than being a drop inside a spider body or inside a human body. And so the ancestors are all around us, and they are imbued, as we are when we connect and we remember, with all wisdom of all times, Akashic record, however you like to view that. The knowledge and wisdom and knowing, not logic and verbal and scientific, but the big picture is available. And spiders are very, very ancient beings, as you can imagine. In their physical form, they've been on planet Earth for millions and millions and millions of years. And so their wisdom is so beautiful and primal and beautiful. And maybe that's what makes us perhaps feel a little bit of fear, because it is very primal and very ancient. And their key messages are around creativity, So spiders create, not all, a lot of spiders create beautiful, beautiful webs. If you've ever seen them close up, or maybe with dewdrops on or a bit of frost on them, they're absolutely exquisitely beautiful. They are connected, they are all encompassing, and the spider, not always, but will sit in the middle, and she will listen, or he will listen to the subtle vibrations all around. Oh, just had a little goldfinch come to the window looking for insects, I think. How beautiful. Thank you. And she will feel, or he will feel, the vibrations and pick up on it. And obviously, if they're in hunting mode, they will go and investigate to see if it might be a tasty meal for them. But they will also be picking up on the wind, the airflow, if it's raining, what the temperature's like, all the other things that are going on in the subtle realms. And that's what she encourages us to do. So to imagine we are the centre of our own web. We don't make a web, we have an invisible web around us of energy and connectivity. And so when we get still and we pay attention to this beautiful, shimmering, eternal web, we will pick up on the signs and intuitive guidance. Now, some of us are perhaps, what's the word? I don't like using advanced. Some of us are more, we come in remembering more of it than others, but we all have it, and we all have this inherent creativity because it's who we are. We are life. We have life. Life is creativity. So she encourages us to call in to her, to ask us to tap into our creativity. And that doesn't mean necessarily just painting or drawing or writing. It can be, I've got an issue that's come up in my life and I really need help with getting creative to find a way forward, a solution. So we can ask respectfully for spiders to help us with that. So that's a really beautiful part of who they are. They also weave their own web. So this is about, although we can't see and we don't physically make a web, we are creating the web around us by the way that we think, the patterns of beliefs and thoughts, our intentions. We create that by sending out a vibration into this web. And that vibration attracts a certain vibration back. Now, this is not about good, bad, blame, guilt, none of that. It's about being aware of when we focus our intention on what we want, being mindful of what we wish for, asking for what we want, not for what we don't want, for example, we attract into our web little subtle vibrations. And if we can notice them and pick up on them and follow them, we are guided by this beautiful force. So I hope that makes sense. I'm sure it does to a lot of you. But if it doesn't, don't worry about understanding it logically. Just wonder about the thoughts and the feelings that you're putting out into the world. And that's not about being pseudo happy all the time. That's not what I'm talking about, which is spiritual bypassing. This is about taking guided action and being conscious as much as we can about what we are vibrating into the world, yeah? And sometimes we need to vibrate sadness, grief, loss, all those vibrations, but our intentionality, got there third time, as a human in particular, but certainly not limited, is all about co-creating, bringing in good, ethical, wonderful creations into the world for the good of everybody. So they are weavers of their fate, and they encourage us to do that. They're also linked to being grandmother, so they're ancient wisdom, as I've mentioned. And then the final thing before I read their message is they are inherently created in the figure of 8 shape. Their body is in 2 parts, and then they have their beautiful 8 legs, which is infinity. It's the infinity symbol. So again, they are in their physical presence showing us the never-ending cycle of all things. There is no beginning, no end, merely a flow. Birth, death, light, dark, masculine, feminine, you name it. The polarities are endless, and this is the way we go. Now, as an enlightened soul in a human body, we can be striving towards the middle way of those polarities. So balance in what we do, thinking about what we need, but also how that affects all, and walking lightly on the earth. So I'm going to stop doing that and I'm going to read you their message because it's really beautiful. And I'll just show you in the book. There's a beautiful image, beautiful photograph in my book of a beautiful spider and her amazing web. I love that. She looks sort of dressed in gold, doesn't she? She's absolutely stunning. So here is their message. Darkness is truth, just as light is. We watch you go round in circles with your minds and wish you would stop and notice the vibrations all around that guide and show you the way. Every fibre of your being allows to tell the tale of truth, dark or light, it shows the way. See, feel or hear it, the guidance is there if only you'd pay attention. Stop and be still. Listen with all of your senses alert. Notice the movements of vibration all around. What does the web reveal to you? It will show you all you need and much more besides. It will reveal what you are vibrating to as you see it affecting all around you, all around you. It matters not if a feather or a fly enters into my web. It reveals itself just the same. Do you even notice them? Do you observe, feel what they have to tell you? Or are you blinded by the bright flashing lights of the radiation machines all around you, the noisy madness of your chattering mind constantly driving you to distraction? Commentary on the unimportant. Why do you do this? Do you know the difference between this mind-made noise and poison compared to the pure essence of vibration all around you right now? Stop a moment and notice right now. What is the divine vibration telling you now? Things you call animate and inanimate, all. They all reflect a perspective, an angle, a light beam that is you. What are you vibrating? This is worthy of your attention. This is worthy of your mind, your heart, your energy, your motion and emotion. Your web is the finest of fibres, invisible to most, and holding an attractive force, attracting and holding the very particles you energetically align to. You allow, you encourage. Wealth is also a part of this energetic alignment. Do you allow your web of attention to allow plenty or not enough? Do you place your silken net at a point of much activity, so to speak? Or do you intentionally place it where there is no movement, no air traffic, no grace or gumption? We are all here to prosper and grow. We are all here to expand and elaborate on our essence, our creative abilities and tendencies. Do you allow your creativity to shine into your world, your breath, your very fibres? Do you vibrate your truth? Do you allow plenty to facilitate this creation? Do you believe it is wise to do so? Blessed be the ones who show the way. Look for those who genuinely are able to steer their vibrations to allow the vast abundance and turn it into force for creative expression. Match and mould your learning. Know it is your way of being fully in this place. Know you are needed to prosper and grow. All of you have all you need. When you notice the nature of the vibration you send out and adapt them so as to guide all good things easily and effortlessly into your shining, sparkling web of truth. I love that. One of my favourite messages, although they are all beautiful. And that's one of 44 messages that's in my book. I don't know, that's probably reversed, I can never remember. The Purpose of Species. And my then name, when I wrote this 10 years ago, was Julie Lines, and you can find that if you would like a copy. I get quite a few people asking on Amazon, probably the quickest and easy, particularly if you're overseas, but you can also order it from my website at juleschabot.com as well. So isn't that amazing? Spider wisdom is fantastic, and I think at this time of year it's so important for us to quieten down and to listen with all of our senses, as they said in their message. So there you are, that's spider wisdom for today. Anyway, there's always so much more. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me, whether live or whether you're watching the replay. I love to know that you have enjoyed it and you've found things of use within their wisdom. Susie saying, wonderful book, I look at it often. Oh, thank you, Susie, that's lovely to hear. And Helen saying she's late, she'll watch on the replay, which is absolutely fine. Do comment and like it on the replay if you can, because that just helps open it up to more people finding and listening to the wisdom. You're so welcome, Susie. I wish you all a beautiful day. I will be back, all being well, next Friday, 10th of November, with another weekly wildlife wisdom. We shall wait and see who that's going to be. And I just send you lots of love, and lots of love to Spider Nation as well. Take care, lots of love. See you soon. Bye for now.